Okay, today we're going to be learning about inductive reasoning. You'll have your glue in of your daily agenda, 2 definitions, some examples, and then you'll be doing some practice. That's the bottom half of your page. So what is deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning, and what's the difference? Deductive reasoning is when you come up with a conclusion based on accepted statements. The really important part that I want to make sure you notice is that it's from accepted statements, things that are already true, like theorems. Inductive reasoning, you come up with a conclusion this way, based on several past observations. This is kind of more of the scientific way. So deductive reasoning is when you come up with a conclusion because of things that you know that are true. Inductive reasoning is when you come up with a conclusion based on several past observations. Let's move this stuff around a little bit. Let me give you an example of deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning. All right, here we go. Here's an example of deductive reasoning, okay? Stay with me here. One thing I know for true is that all fish live in water. All right, I'm not being specific, I'm just saying all fish live in water. I also know that a swordfish is a fish. It's even in its name. Those are 2 accepted statements. So what can I conclude? That swordfish live in water. That is a conclusion that I came across because of accepted statements. Another example I wanted to show you is this one right here with inductive reasoning. What I'm going to do is we're going to do some observations here. One thing I know is that 1 times 1 equals, 1. I also know that 11 times 11 is 121, right? Now, you may not know this, but with a calculator, if I do the math, 111 times 111 is 12321. Are you noticing something here? All right, I'll show you one more. Based on observations, I bet you've noticed that now, let's see, 1,111 times 1,111 is 1234321. If we continued, you could continue with this pattern. It's kind of like pattern observation, and you'd be able to know what the next series was in this segment, in the series. And this is actually what we're going to be doing today, is just the inductive reasoning. So you're going to be looking at patterns and coming up with the next couple terms. So now let's do some inductive reasoning practice. We'll start off easy. Imagine that you're asked to find the next 3 terms of 3, 6, 12, and then 24. What do you think here? 3, 6, 12, 24. Hopefully you're noticing that each time it's going up by 2. It's doubling. Doubling, 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 doubling. That means if I asked you to find the next 3 terms, you'd probably say, what would you say? 48. 48 times 2, getting a little harder, 96. And 96 times 2, that's 192. So you're going to look for an established pattern, and then you're going to finish it. All right, let's try one more. For problem 2, now imagine you've been given the number 11, then 15, then 19, and then 23. All right, take a look at it. Obviously, it's going up, so they're either adding, multiplying. Take a moment and write what you think the next 3 terms are. Did you write 27, 31, and 35? You should have noticed that each time it's going up by 4. They're adding 4 each time. All right, I'm really going to trick you this time. All right, now suppose that you're given 5, then 6, then 8. Ah, I tricked you. Then 11. Where's this going? And then 15. What's happening here? It's going up, but by how much? Take a moment, see if you can find the next 3 terms. All right. I hope you got 20, 26, and lastly, 33. Did you get those? Let's see what happened here. They added 1, then they added 2, then they added 3, then they added 4. In the next sequence, in the next term, you should have added 5, then 6, and then 7. Now, the very last one I want to show you is what we call a different way of displaying numbers. We call these geometric numbers. So these are square numbers. What I'd like you to do is go ahead and take a moment to draw these in your notes, and then tell me if you can come up with the next 3 numbers. All right, so go ahead and pause, and I'll wait for you. Okay, I hope you gave it a try. Here's what the next term would look like. Now, before I draw out the next one, as you can tell, they're looking less and less square. Here's how I would have said it. This is the number 1, 4. Where am I getting that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 9. What's this one? 16, 25, 36. These are perfect squares. The next one would have been 7 squared, 49. Those are the next 3 terms. So you could have drawn out the 36, the 6 by 6 square, and the 7 by 7 square, or you could have just written out the numbers. Now, remember, this is more about observation than it is about really geometry here. So make sure you're observing and making observations about whether the numbers are increasing or decreasing, and do your best.